Not that you would, mind you. Okay, welcome back. Let me turn you around. I mean, if it was a contest, like 6-year-old boys to see who can sit on who the quickest, I think you'd win. And he might be watching right now. So here, Israel, I'll show you. That's Brogan down there. Israel, Mike Brogan. Brogan is 6'2". Thank you. All right, so I've got this acrylic painting, oil glaze over the whole thing, and then I lifted out with a rag some highlights, and the next step now is some dark details in not much, it needs to be darker in a few places. For instance, the dark side of this lighthouse, the dark stripes, I think need to be a little bit darker in places. So I'll come in here and try to make them darker. And the windows need to be darker, I think. And some of this superstructure up here needs to be darker. You see, so now's the time to do that. Oh, and here's a very, very important principle. Anytime you want part of your painting to get darker, be sure to use transparent color, not opaque color. When you want some part of your painting to be darker, you do it using, again, transparent color. Now, the way I got my colors transparent is by mixing enough liquid medium. That's just a gel-like substance. That's what makes the colors transparent. It's not like you go to the art store and say, can I buy some transparent oil? There are some colors that are more transparent than others, but that's not what I mean by transparent. What I mean is you add enough medium so that it becomes transparent. Welcome, folks. Thanks for coming in. How old are you, buddy? 4. Whoa. Good to have you here. So I'm talking to these people, but I'm also talking to people on my phone. So don't make any noise. I'm kidding. I'm completely kidding. You can make all the noise you want. In fact, I like it. Even when I paint it, I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old at my house these days, and people love it when they talk in the background. They ask me questions. So you're more than welcome to ask questions. So do you like my painting of this train?
Is it a train?
No, I'm teasing you. It's a lighthouse, isn't it? Yeah, I'm teasing you. It's not a train at all. It's an elephant. Maybe there's an elephant hiding behind the lighthouse. You know who ought to hide behind a lighthouse? What kind of animal should hide behind a lighthouse? Who has a long neck? Yeah, exactly. If a giraffe is playing hide and seek, he should hide behind the lighthouse. That's a good So theoretically, in this stage, the painting is as dark as it's going to get, or darker than it's going to be. So before I leave this phase, I sort of want to stand back and say, do I have enough dark areas on the canvas? I'll be doing that in just a minute. I don't know that I don't have enough dark stuff yet, but in a minute, I'll stand back and scratch my chin and ask myself that question. And do you guys live nearby?
We do.
Do you? Here at Fuquay Arena?
Right outside of
Really? Well, thanks for coming. Did you know that I was going to be here today? Fantastic. Thanks so much for coming. So Rick and I were thinking about doing this, what I'm doing today, thinking about doing it maybe on a semi-regular basis. like once a month or something
That'd be great.
on Saturday.
That would be here.
Does that sound like fun?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you'll get sick of me pretty quick, I think, but
Well, it's like I learned something.
again, I enjoy teaching. That's part of the reason why I always have so often have a video running if I'm painting all by myself out on the street. 'Cause, you know, you've heard that thing when you teach, you remember, you learn stuff yourself really well. So that's part of the reason why I'm always teaching, because when I remind myself how to be a good painter, I tend to paint better. Isn't that funny? In fact, last year I got in the Oil Painters of America National Show, which is really, really, really an honor. It's like the best painters in the country, 2,000 of them trying to get into a show with only 200 paintings, and I got in, and it was a painting I did in a class. That was kind of funny.
What type of painting was it of?
It was oil painting of just a house, a sunlit alley. I have it on my website. It was just a demo that I was doing at one of my classes in Raleigh, which, you know, usually the paintings I do in a class are kind of loose and sloppy, and maybe that's why it was.
And they like
It was good, yeah, because it was loose and sloppy. But that was encouraging, because it showed me I could do a painting. Evidently, I could do a painting faster than I think I can. And that's sort of what today is too. I'm supposed to finish this at what time? 5? Theoretically, I'm supposed to finish at 5, huh? Well, thank all you guys for coming. This just makes it a lot of fun. Kind of like Bob Ross, huh?
Mm-hmm. Better, but better.
Yes. Don't anybody listen to this. People say, oh, like Bob Ross, and I usually say, in his dreams. Ooh. Bob, you didn't hear that. I mean, Bob Jr. You didn't hear that. Oh, that's funny. I enjoyed his show as much as anybody. I really did. But was he a good painter? Nobody knows.
No.
I mean, it was fun. It was a
Did a
great
lot of
show.
things with lights and
But
light.
it was all brush tricks. You know, that's how he did what he did, how he painted a painting in 30 minutes. And I tell my students, everybody should know those tricks. Every artist should learn all those Bob Ross brush tricks, but then don't use them. Or use them very, very reservedly. That's absolutely correct. You should know all the tricks that Bob Ross used. You know, like how to do a little friendly little pine tree with a fan brush, you know. Point, 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 point. Yay, it's a tree. You should know that, but you should only go point, point. The third point is over the line. So always keep it under 2 points. 2 points or under. As soon as somebody can tell me what a point is, I'm sure to.
Now, using the transparent paint as the undercoating,
Say that again?
you're using the transparent paint.
Yes.
The undercoat for the dark.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Is that because it comes out more?
No, it's because, like, obviously I want this part of the painting darker than it is, right? If I mixed some white paint in there, so it's just a little bit darker, it's mud.
Muddy.
Yeah.
Muddy.
In fact, and I have a YouTube video. You can just go to YouTube and do a search for Dan Nelson mud, and you would find about a 10-minute video that, in my opinion, explains very well what mud is, and it's the misuse of opaque or opacity. It's when people use white to get darker, and I hope that sounds stupid. Why would you use white to get darker? Precisely.
Yeah.
Precisely. But if you use transparent color, it doesn't look muddy. It's a very muddy color, if you will, but mud isn't a color. It's when you the misuse of opaque.
I've done a lot of mud.
Now you know it.
To find the right.
Dan, just what was that blue color you said before you were using?
Yeah, ultramarine. You know, yeah, funny name for a color, and all of us artists are just used to it because that ultramarine, we've used it our whole life. But do you know what it means? Across the sea.
Yeah.
Which is what they called it in the Middle Ages. What's the name of that color? The name of this color is far away, because it came from far away. Isn't that funny? It came from over the sea, so they called it. Give me some of that over the sea. Ultramarine, Latin, ultramarine. Isn't that funny? I thought it was so funny when I learned that. Now I've been using the name for decades, before I learned what it meant. I figured there was like some kind of stone called ultramarine, and they ground it up and made this color. No. There may be some stone, but anyway. It's a very Eurocentric name. It came from far away from Europe. Maybe China or something, I don't know. It really revolutionized the art world, by the way, when it was discovered. It was very expensive. There's a whole history of that. Artists, some daring artists, started using this color. They didn't, before that, they didn't really have a good blue. Not the artists like Rembrandt didn't have available to him a good blue at all. That's why you don't see much blue in Rembrandt's paintings.
Can you imagine if he did?
Pardon?
Can you imagine if he did?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I think too, can you imagine what he could have done if all kinds of things. I mean, back then artists had to make their own brushes. Can you imagine? You just take it off a pig, hundreds of, and you put them in this little metal thing and tie a piece of leather or copper wire around it. They had to make their own brushes and their own paints.
So what time frame did they come up with that color?
I'm thinking like 14 or 1500s. Fairly late, but you could Google it and find out if I'm right. I don't remember. It might be 1600s. The impression I have is fairly recent.
Do you know what it's a mix of to come up with the blue? What did they have to mix to come up?
I think it is some kind of stone, but I can't remember.
Okay, that's,
Yeah, it's certainly one of my favorite colors to use. Okay, I'm almost done. I think I just need a little bit more. Speaking of a fan brush, I can use one right now.
throw in that pine tree.
Just part of the pie.
Let's do a pine tree right now.
you
Oh, that's
gotta
so
have-
funny. I could do one right here. It goes like this.
There you go.
Okay, let's get rid of that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, this side is too light. Darken that up. Okay.
Is this painting kind of done at sunset type, or
Is it, say that again?
is it going to be like dusk?
Yes, definitely dusky. I mean, the great majority, if you look around the room, the great majority of my paintings are, well,
Rainy.
it's funny I say that, and then you look around the room, it's not quite so true in this.
No.
That's so funny. But yeah, the great majority of my paintings are dusky.
Yeah.
Some artists call that the golden hour, like, hour and a half before, after sunrise or before sunset.
Because
just-
all of a sudden I just saw the sun going down behind the
Yes.
trees, and I went, oh,
Yeah, definitely.
beautiful.
Brogan, I'll pay you $1 if you come clean these brushes for me. Don't do it. All I have is a credit card. Do you take credit cards?
It's all right. He'll take a paint.
I'll send your mom PayPal. Okay, so changing gears here. Yep, up until now, almost everything I've put on the canvas has been transparent. All the colors I put on are transparent. The only opaque stuff is when I did white underneath, under there. So now I'm going to switch though. I'm going to start painting with opaque paints, opaque colors, big shift. Big shift. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take a minute and clean up my palette. You know, Rick, I forgot one piece of equipment. Do you by any chance have a plastic grocery bag back there? Because I've got all these dirty paper towels, and I don't like painting in a mess. I get a mess myself, but I don't like the area to be a mess. So I'm an unusual artist who, because I like an audience, and I'm not messy. Most artists really are. If you think most artists are messy, you're right.
Yes, that's true.
Are you messy?
I'm covered.
I've gotten better though.
No, don't get me wrong, I had my messy zones. You go out and the Christian will tell you, look at his van, he's saying, you know, I was just out in his van. Right? Yeah, you weren't going to say anything.
What you're saying is it's a painting inside the van, right? It's just-
You can sell it.
Wonderful, thank you, Rick. So yeah, my van is one of my few messy places in my life. What was I going to say? I'm messy and and I paint with two hands. Did you notice it painting with two hands?
I did notice that.
Anybody want to ask me why I paint with two hands? Because I don't have three. Thank you. No, I started about 12 years ago, I think. I should have written it down because I honestly can't remember. But maybe I was about 50. So none of y'all are old enough to start painting with two hands yet. Isn't it right?
I'm not going to do
Yeah.
I had read that Leonardo da Vinci painted with two hands. And just kind of like I said, is anybody paying attention?
Yeah.
You know, if Leonardo da Vinci painted with two hands, why aren't I? That was the first thing. And then I was old enough to notice that as people got older, they tend to lose parts. You know, it was just stroke, bursitis, arthritis. So I thought I got to hedge my bet and start painting with two hands. And so I did, but I had no idea it was going to so revolutionize my painting and speed it up, by the way, which is really a good thing when you paint in front of people most of the time, to not go too slow.
So how long does it typically take you?
5 hours. This will be quicker. If I started at 2, a little before 2. So this one, hopefully 3 hours and a bit, maybe. But like that fire truck, probably 8 hours, because that was a lot more. This is Washington D.C. down here, and that was probably 6 or 7 hours. And I did that one on location. Most of my paintings are actually done on location. I prefer, even the fire truck I was standing right there at the fireman show painting. Okay, so now I'm beginning light stuff. I'm trying to decide where to start. Oh, you know what? This might be a good time to pause, you guys. This is YouTube, right? Yeah, 18 minutes. Okay, thanks. I'm going to pause you, and the next episode will be on Facebook. Thanks for watching.